Dissection, London, 1812. A heavy fog rolled off the Thames, swallowing gaslights. Behind Grosvenor Square, a lamplighter's scream tore through the night. The constables found the body shortly after, chest ripped open, heart removed with uncanny precision. Lord Alaric Thorne, a reclusive noble and student of anatomy, sat in his study, dissecting a hair under candlelight. The walls were lined not with portraits, but with framed skeletons, anatomical sketches, and bottled specimens in cloudy fluid. His manservant, Halvers, stood nearby with the latest edition of the London Times. When word of the murders reached him, he didn't flinch. Instead, his eyes lit up. Halvers cleared his throat. "Another one, my lord. In Belgravia this time. Just like the others." "Describe the wounds," Alaric murmured, not looking up. "Chest cavity exposed, heart missing, no other damage reported." Alaric paused, set down his scalpel. "Interesting." Halvers frowned. "My lord, they're saying it's a lunatic. The Rook Street Ripper, they're calling it." "This is not the act of a madman, Halvers. This is curiosity, investigation." At the crime scene, Thorne arrived uninvited, slipping past constables into the cellar morgue. Constable James Dorian, tall and sharp-eyed, stepped into his path. "You again, Lord Thorne?" Dorian said. "You were seen at the last murder site too." Alaric smiled thinly. "And yet the murders continue. Perhaps you need better help." Dorian crossed his arms. "You're no constable, no coroner. You're a meddler with a fondness for corpses." "I'm a scientist," Alaric said coolly. "And what you have here isn't murder. It's a biological event." "You think this is science?" Dorian snapped. "Look at that body. That's not research. That's slaughter." Alaric stepped closer to the cadaver. "Look at the wounds. The organ was removed intact. No spillage. The sternum, carefully pried open. Not rage. Precision." Dorian glared. "You're interfering in a murder investigation." Alaric leaned in. "And you're hunting a man. What you need to be hunting may not be human." The constable scoffed. That night, Behemoth, Alaric's hound, barked violently. Then, silence. Alaric and Halvers raced outside. Behemoth lay torn open in the courtyard. Alaric knelt, jaw tight. Nearby, Prince, four-toed, clawed. Then, a flash. Something skittered across the manor wall, hunched, too fast, too low. Halvers whispered, "What was that?" Alaric stared into the mist. "I believe we just met our surgeon." Back inside, Halvers poured a stiff brandy. "My lord, should we contact the constable?" "No," Alaric said, already sketching. "They'll bring guns." Halvers hesitated. "And what will you bring?" Alaric's eyes glinted in the firelight. "Knowledge." The next morning, Constable Dorian stood at Thorne's gate, knocking loudly. When the door opened, he thrust forward a sheet of parchment. "Lord Thorne, you are to cease all private investigation. You're obstructing a police matter." Alaric took the notice, then met Dorian's stare. "Constable, what would you say if I told you you should looking for a beast, not a man?" Dorian stepped back. "I'd say your fascination has turned to madness." "Not madness," Alaric said softly. "Discovery." The rain had not stopped in days. The streets ran dark with muck, and the whispers ran faster. 7 now. 7 bodies, all opened like books no one dared read. At Thorne Manor, Lord Alaric Thorne stood in his candle-lit laboratory, bent over his microscope, examining a slide of glittering alien slime. Halvers entered quietly, holding a towel and a fresh shirt. "You haven't slept in 3 nights, my lord?" "I'll rest when it stops killing," Alaric said, not looking up. "The staff is frightened. Mrs. Brindle left this morning, took the scullery girl with her, said you're consorting with the darkness." Alaric chuckled. I rather like that. Consorting. As if I invited the beast for tea. Halvers frowned. It is no laughing matter. That thing took Behemoth. It could take us. Alaric finally looked up, eyes bloodshot but alert. It's studying us, Halvers. It chooses organs, specific ones. It's curious. Halvers crossed his arms. Curiosity is a human trait. Alaric shook his head slowly. Number. Curiosity is a universal constant. They were interrupted by a knock. An envelope slipped beneath the door. Alaric stooped to pick it up. Professor Everett Llewellyn, he murmured, opening the letter. As he read, a flicker of dread passed through him. Who is it from? Halvers asked. An old friend. An exile. An astronomer, with more madness than sense. Usually. He handed the letter to Halvers. My Lord Thorne, I write only because I suspect you will believe me. 5 weeks passed. A star fell near my observatory. I examined the crater, small, as if the star had burrowed instead of exploded, but I found no stone, only slime and drag marks. Something crawled away. You must come. It still watches me. Everett. Halvers stared at the page. You think this is connected? I know it is, Alaric said. Fetch the horses, we ride tonight. The journey to the countryside was bleak. The forest loomed like sleeping giants, and the sky stayed bruised and grey. At the edge of a hill they found the observatory, door swinging in the wind, no light within. Inside, books torn, equipment smashed, claw marks etched into stone, and blood. Halvers stepped back. We shouldn't be here. We must be here, Alaric snapped, crouching beside a dark smear. This is its origin point. In the woods they found the crater, shallow, burned. The soil warped in a spiral. Drag marks led away, four-toed, deep. Alaric knelt. He glanced up, and it was alone. That night, back at the manor, Halvers burst into the study, pale and breathless. My lord, your quarters. The door. Come quickly. They ran. The bedroom door was splintered, deep gouges etched across it. Inside, nothing. But something had tried to get in. Halvers backed away. You said it was curious. What if now it's angry? No, Alaric whispered. It isn't hunting us out of anger. He turned to Halvers, voice dark with realization. It's hunting to complete its collection. Rain lashed the windows. Thunder echoed across the rooftops. Inside Thorne Manor, Alaric's study had become a war room. Sketches, maps, blood samples, and glass jars crowding every surface. Halvers stood near the fireplace, arms folded. You've crossed a line, my lord. This thing, this beast, you don't want to capture it. You want to understand it. Alaric didn't turn from the work table. Understanding is the only power we have, Halvers. Guns and blades have failed. It's not a disease to study. It's a killer, a predator. Alaric finally faced him, weary and resolute. Yes, but it's alone. No technology, no language, just instinct. That makes it desperate. And desperation, he paused, lifting a bloodied vial, is predictable. In the dead of night, they arrived at the butcher's market. Alaric placed the fresh corpse beneath a gas lamp, glass shards arranged to reflect any movement. Halvers hissed, You're using a dead man as bait. No, Alaric corrected, eyes gleaming. As a question. Let's see how it answers. They waited in silence above the rafters. The city was asleep. Time passed like thick molasses. Then click, click, click. Halvers flinched. Is that... Alaric nodded, motionless. The creature entered, part man, part animal, its limbs coiled with sinew, moving like smoke. It sniffed the air and approached the body. Alaric whispered, Now! He dropped the net. The beast shrieked, thrashing. Alaric leapt down, blade in hand. "You dissected us," he growled, driving the steel into its torso. "Now we return the favor." The two collided in a frenzy of claws and steel. Halvers rushed in, swinging a lantern. Fire caught the creature's back. It screamed, writhing. Alaric stabbed again, through the chest. Black ichor sprayed across the stones. The beast twitched and died. Later, in his laboratory, Alaric lay wounded but triumphant. The creature's corpse glistened under lamplight. Halvers bandaged him, hands trembling. "We need a doctor." "No time," Alaric rasped. "Just, let me see." He lifted the scalpel. Under the ribcage, two hearts, twined like twisted roots, lungs like sea creatures. Alaric dictated weakly into his journal. "Specimen appears to select based on organ viability, perhaps a form of collection or learning." Halvers knelt beside him. "My lord, you're fading. Please." Alaric's hand trembled, ink blurring. Tell them it wasn't cruelty. It was curiosity. It wanted—" He smiled faintly. "It wanted to know us." Morning came. Thorne Manor was silent. When the constables arrived, they found the lab blood-stained, the creature carved open, and Alaric's notes ending mid-sentence. But there was something else. Fresh claw marks. On the inside of the cellar door, and in the rafters, unseen, something blinked.
Hope you enjoyed our story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from the Void.